Hi, I am here about it. This is important, so you ain't won't want to miss this one.
You know, Apple loves to talk about how your iPhone is this private fortress. But the truth is, there's a war for your data happening right there in your pocket. A whole industry of corporations, data brokers, and yeah, even governments are buying and selling your personal information every single day. And look, we're not talking small time here. This is a $300 billion a year industry, an entire global market built on one thing, our personal data. So let's be clear, this isn't some vague conspiracy theory. It's a calculated business, and your data is worth about $1,000 to these guys. But here's the good news. You can absolutely fight back. And in this explainer, we're going to walk through the exact settings you can change right now to start taking back control. First up, your location. This is probably one of the most valuable pieces of data you have. So go ahead, grab your phone, open up that settings app, and let's do this together. We're going to start in privacy and security, and then we'll tap into location services. Okay, once you're in location services, you'll see share my location. Now you might think sharing your location with your family is totally harmless, but here's the thing you got to think about. If their phone or account ever gets hacked, that thief now has a live tracker on you. My advice, just share as little as you possibly can. It's not about distrusting your family. It's about protecting them from being the weak link that gets you hacked. All right, back on that main location services screen, just scroll through your list of apps and look for one word, always. If an app has always access, it is a 24/7 tracker in your pocket. I mean, think about this. It came out that the airline industry sold 5 billion passenger records to the government. They don't need a warrant, they just buy the data. Switching always to while using the app is a massive step to stop that from happening. And this slide right here shows the next critical setting, precise location. When it's on, an app knows exactly where you are, down to a tiny 10-foot circle. But turn it off, and suddenly you're just somewhere inside this giant kilometer-wide area. That right there is the difference between being a specific target and being completely anonymous. And why does that matter so much? Because companies love to hide behind this idea of anonymized data. Well, researchers at MIT proved that's a total myth. They found that with just 4 precise location points, just 4, they could uniquely identify 95% of people. So anonymized means nothing if precise location is on. Turn it off for every single app that doesn't absolutely need it, like say your GPS when you're driving. All right, buckle up. We're about to go deep. At the very bottom of location services is a menu called System Services. And trust me, Apple keeps these intentionally confusing. So we're just going to burn through them in a rapid-fire cleanup that's going to boost your privacy and save you some battery life. You can safely turn every single one of these off. Cell network search, for example, it doesn't help you find a signal, it just helps Apple map out cell towers using your phone. And suggestions and search, that sends your precise location to Apple every time you type something in the search bar. Just flip them all off. But hold on, this isn't about just shutting everything down. There are a few things in here you absolutely want to keep on for safety and, for your phone to actually work. Things like emergency calls and SOS and Find My iPhone, those are non-negotiable. So leave these ones on. And now, we come to what might be the worst offender of them all. Significant locations. This is literally a complete, detailed diary of everywhere you go, all the time, that Apple uses to build a profile on you. And they get real fuzzy with the details, just saying it's for providing useful location-related information. Turn it off. Seriously, it's a privacy nightmare, and it absolutely torches your battery. Okay, just 2 more quick things in here. Scroll down a bit and turn off all the product improvement toggles. This just stops your phone from snitching on you to Apple. Let them improve their own products on their own time. Then turn on status bar icon. This is so important. It forces your iPhone to be honest and show you that little arrow icon whenever any system service is pinging your location in the background. So we've done a lot to lock down your location. But what about all the stuff that's actually on your phone? Now we're going to shift gears and talk about how apps get access to your photos, your contacts, and your activity all across the internet. Back out on the main privacy and security page, tap into tracking. Disabling allow apps to request to track is probably the single biggest and easiest win you're going to get. This one switch basically puts up a giant wall that stops apps from following you around and collecting data on what you do in other companies' apps and websites. It's a total no-brainer. So let me ask you this. When an app asks for permission, Does it really need full access to every single photo you have ever taken or every person in your address book? The answer is almost always a hard no. And granting that kind of permission, well, it can have some seriously scary consequences. Which brings me to this story about TikTok. Back in 2022, leaked audio from over 80 internal TikTok meetings hit the internet. And in those meetings, a TikTok employee made this chillingly simple statement about the data of American users. Everything is seen in China. It turns out giving an app full access to something like your photos was way more dangerous than anyone thought. And oh yeah, it gets worse. A former head of engineering at TikTok later claimed in court that the Chinese Communist Party had what they called a God credential, a secret backdoor that just bypassed all of their privacy protections. It gave them access to everything: your device ID, your messages, your browsing history, and yep, every single one of your photos if you gave the app full access. The lesson here is pretty clear. Be incredibly stingy with app permissions. And hey, while we're cleaning house, head back to privacy and security, tap into analytics and improvements, and just turn everything off. Then go find Apple advertising and turn off personalized ads. Now, this won't give you fewer ads, but it will stop them from being so creepily specific to you. Okay, last section. We've secured your data from all the digital snoops out there, but what about physical threats? These last few settings are all about protecting your phone if it's ever lost, stolen, or even plugged into the wrong charger. You ever heard of juice jacking? It's a real thing. It's when a hacker compromises a public USB charging port, like at an airport, to hack your phone and slurp up your data the second you plug it in. The good news is, the fix is super simple. Under Privacy and Security, find Wired Accessories and just set it to Ask for New Accessories. This one little change blocks any bad guy from getting a data connection through a bad charger. Now, this right here is one of the most important security features Apple has added in years. Think about it. If a thief steals your phone and they saw you type in your passcode, they can change your Apple ID password and lock you out of your entire digital life forever. Stolen device protection stops this. It adds a 1-hour security delay before any major changes can happen, which gives you time to lock them out. Seriously, go turn this on right now. So if you do nothing else today, do these 4 things. 1. Review your apps and switch location access from always to while using. 2. Turn off precise location for almost everything. 3. Be super careful about giving apps full access to your photos and contacts. And 4. Turn on stolen device protection. These 4 steps alone will make a massive difference in your digital privacy. You've taken some huge steps to lock down your iPhone, which is awesome. But it all leads to one final, really important question. What about all the data that companies have already collected about you for years? Your information has been bought, sold, and traded from one data broker to the next, and now it's just out there. Securing your device is a critical first step, but the bigger fight for our data has only just begun.
If you liked it, and so I know you made it all the way to the end, please comment privacy in the comments below. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.